Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm broadcasting to you live from Central Europe, beautiful Budapest. Welcome everyone. All right, today we are focusing on some listening practice and I will give you some tips on what to pay attention to get those high band scores. Of course, our materials, as usual, come from our websites. For academic IELTS help, check us out at aehelp.com. And for general IELTS help, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have over 100 hours of video lessons. We have 6 original practice exams and a fully interactive course to help you prepare and be confident for your exam. Hi, Zenina. Hi, Igor Frank. Hi, Wissam. Hi, Anju. Hi, good to see so many students coming in. You can download our app. We have one for academic, not yet for general, but we will. Search for Academic IELTS Help in your app store. Also, you can find our books on Amazon. Search for AE Helps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General IELTS. And you can buy our 6 exams from Amazon. If you have questions about our products, about IELTS or these courses, these live streams, then send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. Okay, ADRIAN, that's my name, at aehelp.com. Okay, so we have this class for you today, listening strategy. Everybody's welcome to chat. Tomorrow we have a members chat class at 13:30 Central European time. That will be a task 1 diagram, and then we will have a task 2 writing that will be for everyone. Okay, that will be for everyone. So task 1 followed by task 2 tomorrow. Okay, let's waste not, want not, students. Let's get right into our listening practice to warm up our English parts of our brain. I'm just going to start with listening section 1 right away. And the key here, students, is focus. Try to get as many of the answers correct as possible. Part 1 of the listening is the easiest, so you should try to get many of those correct. I'm using a speaker and my headset microphone to play the audio, so I have max volume on my end. If it's quiet for you, please try to use a headset or turn up the volume. And please do not write answers into the chat, okay? Give everybody a chance to answer, so just write down the answers in a separate document or on a piece of paper, and we can go through it together after, okay? So again, this is listening section 1, and it's coming from our website. So this is our academic website, and I'm just going to log in here at the top into my student account. This is exam number 4 that we're going to do today. So it is coming from CD 4, track 1. And here we go, everyone. So just be ready. Again, please don't write answers into the chat, just on a separate piece of paper. Okay.
This recording is copyrighted by 2 Think One Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings, and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between a student and a university administrator. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's Assistant Registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
The student says she has concerns about registration, so B has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's Assistant Registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
Certainly. What can I help you with? Sorry, what was your name again, Ms.?
Anderson, Melanie Anderson. And well, my first question concerns my student record. I'm beginning my second year of uni, but my first didn't go so well.
You're worried about your marks then, Ms. Anderson, and how they impact your registration status?
Exactly. I don't know my precise average, but it is not good. Could you look into this for me?
Absolutely. Could you please spell your last name for me? I've seen it spelt with either an E or an O in the final syllable.
It's an E. Andersen. My family ancestry is Swedish.
Right then. And the next piece of information I need is your student registration number.
Okay, seems I've left my student identification with my registration number on it in the car. Can I give you some other piece of information or identification?
Yes, you can. Along with your surname, I can find your account with your date of birth.
Great. It's the 20th of August, 1997.
The 20th of August, 1997?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Let's see your account then. Okay, here it is. Well, I see what you mean about your marks. These are certainly not ideal. However, your average is above the level necessary to proceed to year 2 of your programme. However, I do see there's a hold on your account which is preventing you from registering for classes.
Yes. See, I thought that was because of my marks.
No, it's not. It's actually because you have unpaid library fines.
Library fines?
Yes. During the past year, you must have been tardy in returning some items to the university library.
Yes, I think I was. Hardly seems like a good reason to prevent a student from registering, though.
I know how you feel, but books are expensive for the university library to acquire, and we must coerce students to pay fines one way or another.
How much do I owe?
£6.20.
£6.20? Well, I suppose it's a relief the total is so small.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Well, now that that is out of the way, I did have another concern. I need advice on what modules to take in my first semester. I'm in the BA Art History program, but as you can see from my record, I failed a class which is a prerequisite for 2 modules I'm supposed to take this semester.
Yes, it looks like that's right. It was Art History 1270 that you failed. Is that right?
1270. Yes, I took it with Professor Calder. I found his teaching style did not match my learning style.
Right. Well, that art history class is indeed a prerequisite for both Art History 2170 and 2260.
Yes, unfortunately, that's what I found out earlier. Is there anything that can be done?
Well, Miss Anderson, I think there is. Here's what we'll do. We'll register you in the module you failed last year, and then we'll put you in Art History 2240, which counts towards your degree in place of 2260. 2240 has no prerequisite, however.
But what about the 2170 class?
Yes, well, that's where we'll have to be creative. Are you comfortable taking an extra class in the spring semester?
Yes, I think so.
Good. We will register you in 1270 and 2240 in the fall, and then register you in 2170 in the spring.
Great. And one final question. Is Professor Calder teaching art history 1270 again this autumn?
Yes, he is, but I've put you in Professor Hennessy's section instead. I think you'll be more successful.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, students, always take that half minute to check your answers. Make sure that they are accurate. Pay attention to the instructions, your spelling. Okay, we'll go through the answers in just a moment. Notice that in the beginning, I went through all of the different sections. So section 2, section 3, section 4. That was a little bit of a trick for the IELTS. It doesn't always work. Some examiners will say, hey, don't turn the page. Just stay on section 1. But in many situations, they won't pay attention for that. Yep, Sana, that's right. It's not allowed, but it's not technically not allowed, Sana. So they don't actually say you're not allowed to turn to the other sections. It doesn't actually say that anywhere. So it says just follow the instructions, now turn to section 1, but it doesn't say you cannot turn to section 2. So I've heard that many students are successful in looking at the topic of section 2, 3, and 4 during that long introduction time. And before, when I asked this from students in the chat, many students agreed. They said, I did one exam. They said, please don't do that. I did another exam. They didn't care. Okay, I think in the computer-based exam, you can't do it because the computer doesn't let you go to the next section. So that's one way that the computer-based exam can be a little bit more difficult, is the listening sections can be more surprising. But if you have a chance, it's worth a try. They're not going to kick you out of the exam. Worst case situation, they will just ask you to not do that. Go to section 1. Best case situation, they will let you look at it, or they'll ignore you looking at it, and you get a little bit of an idea for section 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's a good kind of a tip or strategy. All right, any questions about that one, students? So anything that's not clear perfectly on what I just said there? Anything that's not 100% clear? Was that clear for everyone? All right, good, okay. All right, students, so let's go through the answers together. In section 1, you get one example, only in section 1. What does the student need help with? Registration, so goes to see the administrator. It's a common type of situation. What is the student, or sorry, which year is the student enrolled in? So what year of university is the student currently registered for? First, second, or third year of university? Yeah, B, that's right. It's the second year. The woman says, the student, she says that I'm in my second year, or I'm starting my second year. So she's already enrolled. Okay, she's starting her second year. What is the student most concerned about? So what is she most worried about, the student? Is she worried primarily about her marks? Is she worried about her registration status? Is she worried about her identification? It was a little bit tricky, this one. It sounds like she's worried about her marks, but she's even more worried about her registration status. So here the answer is B. She says, I'm worried about my marks and how they will affect my registration status. Okay, so again, she says, I'm worried about my marks and how they will affect my registration status. Now, even if you didn't get B right away, if you're like, Adrian, I don't know, it doesn't seem clear for me. I have a lot of question marks there. I still don't know if A or B is better from that. Can you help me? Yes. What else in this first part of the listening helped you to figure out that it's B? How did you know that she's worried about her registration for sure? It's not her identification, Chinky, that's for sure. So how did we know that it's definitely B, even if we didn't get it right away? So if we're like, well, she said she's worried about her marks and how they affect her registration status, so I'm not sure if it's marks or registration status. Something else was said by these speakers which helps you to figure out that it's B. What gives you the guarantee? Did anybody catch that? No, both A and B are not correct, Tina. The correct answer is B. It's just maybe you're not sure here. Yeah, Farhan, that's right. So Farhan says, well, because she's not able to register, right? If you're a university student and you can't register for your classes, that's going to become a big problem. Yeah, Rekha says the reason the registration account is locked, that's why she met with this person. And we get it from this part here. So the reason that she cannot register is not because of her marks. It's because she has to pay library fines, right? And they talk about that. So she has to pay library fines. And there we know that, oh, okay, she's really worried about her registration because it's locked. She can't register. Why? She thinks it's because of her marks, but it's not because of her marks. It's because she owes money to the university library, right? So here's another very important tip, students, that sometimes later parts of the listening will help you be certain for earlier questions. When you're at home practicing for the IELTS, pay attention to this type of global information comprehension that can assist you with understanding different questions. Okay, so that's just a quick tip for everyone that I'm going to throw down here, a little strategy. Okay, so this is your strategy 1 for today. Okay, if you are uncertain about an answer, be patient, listen carefully, as further information can help you gain confidence in your choice. Okay, this is especially true for many multiple choice questions. Okay, so again, just to quickly reiterate, at first I wasn't 100% confident that she's worried about her marks or her registration status, but as I kept listening carefully, I realized that she's worried she can't register for her classes, and it's not because of her marks, it's because of library fines. So then, when I have 30 seconds to review my notes, then I can go back or review my answers and go, aha, okay, that was B for sure. Okay, so hope that makes sense. Okay, let's complete this or these notes here with the correct answers. The student's name, what is it? It's Melanie what? What's the answer for number 3? Okay, Amin Izayev says it's Anderson. You can write it in all lowercase, or sorry, all uppercase, or first letter uppercase, rest lowercase. Anderson. We know this is an E and not an O because the woman says it's with an E. I'm Swedish. Okay. Yeah, Rahul, exactly. I'm really happy. Remember, Rahul here is reminding everybody that 30 seconds for rechecking your answers makes sense. And that's right, Rahul. When I see Band 9 students who achieve Band 9 in the listening, they always use the 30 seconds for rechecking their answers, and that's when they catch those kinds of easy mistakes like marks and registration. So that's right, Rahul. Very good. Anderson like this or Anderson all capital. Just be careful with spelling when writing all capital. Okay, that's fine. If you write a small a, it's wrong. Okay, it's a name. It has to have a big A. Notice how the M is also big. It's be a very clear, big capital letter A. All right, careful. What's her birthday? Next question, number 4. When is this student born? 28th of August. Yeah, so the easiest way is like this. Okay, August 28th. Just Aug 28th. Okay, again, August is also a proper noun, so months of the year. So if you write it like this is wrong. Okay, you cannot write it all lowercase because in English, lowercase a for months is a mistake. So careful. All right. So Maria Chinky, if you wrote it with a small a like that, it would be wrong. Okay. Was it 20th or 28th? I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll check the answer key. Okay. All right. Samuel, you don't need the period to abbreviate it. You can, but you don't need it. Okay. They'll still give it to you even without the dot. All right. But it has to be capital. I think it was 20th as well. So let's just keep it. I think it was. I don't have that good a memory to memorize all these answers, but I think it was maybe August 20th. Anyway, library fines. How much does she owe? You don't need the TH, by the way, either, students. So library fines. What does she owe? Yeah, 620. Very good. And it's just 6.20. Please don't write pounds because you have the symbol right here for pounds. If you write pounds like this, it's very likely that you'll get that wrong because you don't have the symbol and the word pounds, okay? So it's just 620. That's it. All you need is the 6.20. When you have the symbol given, you don't need to add that word, okay? So careful about that. They're quite strict with the marking in the listening and reading section. It's very standardized for those answers. So practice at home. Make sure you know what works, what doesn't. Okay, then you had a little bit of time to review these questions. No more than 3 words, so pay attention. What program is the student in? So what is she in? Amar defaulter is not used correctly in that sentence, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, so it's BA in Art History. So BA Art History. It is the name of the program, so it's a good idea to capitalize the A and the H, okay, as the name of the program. So BA Art History, Bachelor of Arts Art History. That's her major, okay. Khal Drogo, that's correct. That'll work. All capital letters. It's a safe way to do it. Okay. Yeah, you don't need the periods like that. It's fine without it. Okay, without the abbreviative dots. Okay, BA Art History. Let's keep going. Match the class with the correct description. So here in the spaces, you just write the correct letter for the number. So when you have 7 in your answer sheet, 8, 9, then you just put the correct letter in. Please don't write the phrases or the words. Okay, 2170, number 7, it's B. Yes, she's taking that in the spring. That was emphasized. Number 8, class 1270 is, yeah, 7 is B. Good for all the students getting that one. Okay, and yes, Ansi, Anthony, Naveen, it is A. And by deduction, obviously, C goes here. Bonus question, students. Which class is she taking instead of 2260? Let's see how well you were actively listening and not just listening for answers. It's one of the big tricks when you improve your score for listening is improving active listening and not just trying to listen for answers. So which class is she taking instead of 2260? They said it about 3 times. That's right, Carl. That's right. It's 2240. Yeah. And to stretch my bonus question, so again, this is just checking your active listening, and you should practice this kind of question and answer at home. Why is she taking 2240 instead of 2260? Why is she doing 2240 instead of 2260? What's the reason? Can anybody tell me that while I write down this strategy for you? Okay, it's a good question. It's your active listening. Okay, so strategy. 2. When you prepare for IELTS, do not just listen for answers, but also improve your active listening skills. This means generate your own questions and answers based on what you hear. This is excellent practice to do in partners. Okay. All right. Yeah, Samuel, that's right. She failed 1270, and that's why she cannot do 2260, because 1270 is a prerequisite. What that means is that if she wants to do 2260, she has to have a passing grade in 1270. So she can't do 2260, but she can do 2240 because it does not need another course to do it. Okay? So that was the logic, right? Because of the prerequisite. Good for you. Good for providing that answer. Okay? That shows me that you're using active listening. And when I'm paying attention to higher level skills or students, that's what tells me that the student has a higher level listening skill. So they can answer questions that are not necessarily on the question sheet. Okay, last question here, question 10. The student is registered for 1270 with the same professor as she previously had. So as she had before. Previously means before. Is it true or is it false? Is she with the same as before or no? Okay. It is false. Sushant asked a question about multiple choice. You have problems with it. Because for multiple choice, Sushant, you have to do exactly what I just said, which means you have to understand what you hear and know the answer to the question and then choose the one that matches. Many students have problem with multiple choice because they're searching for the correct answer by looking at the choices. That doesn't work because there's paraphrasing. So Sushan, the trick is to improve your active listening so you understand the answer to the question and then choose the right answer that matches with what you think. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. Yes, Amardeep, that's a good tip as well. Absolutely. Pay attention to the reaction of the speakers. Like, oh, whoa, that's surprising. Or, oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay, so that's false. So you put B into the answer sheet and off to the races. Okay, students, let's move on to section 2. Okay, so section 2, again, I will play the audio. And please write your answers on a piece of paper or in a separate document. Please, students, don't put your answers into the chat. Give everybody a fair chance, all right? If the audio is quiet on your end, you turn up the volume or use a headset, okay? All right, here we go with section 2. I hope everybody's ready. 3, 2, and 1.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening, Section 2. You will hear a woman showing a group of people around an all-inclusive resort hotel. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
I'd like to welcome all of you to the White Sands 5-star resort here in beautiful Varadero, Cuba. Today, I'm going to show you the fine features you'll get to experience during your stay here at White Sands. Before we begin, does anyone have any questions?
Hi there. Yes, I have a quick question. How long will the tour be? I have to meet the rest of my family for lunch in an hour.
Not a problem, sir. The tour will take no more than 30 minutes. If after this time anyone wants more details on any of the resort's features, I can help them out individually. Any other questions? No? Well, let's get started then. White Sands covers 10 acres of land, including direct access to over 250 metres of pristine Caribbean coastline. It is perfectly safe to swim in the waters here at White Sands, but do be on the lookout for jellyfish in the water. They are not deadly, but their sting does pack a punch. As we pass through the lobby, I want you to take note of the main bar area on your left. The bar is open from 11 in the morning each day and closes at 1 a.m. each night. As we proceed down the main path, you'll see 4 apartment buildings marked A and B on your left and C and D on your right. Between buildings C and D on your right is one of our finest restaurants featuring traditional Cuban cuisine. We have 7 restaurants in all at White Sands, and we invite you to try your favourites while you are here.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
In our brochure, I read that we are only entitled to 5 restaurant visits per week we stay at the resort. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. The restaurants are only open for dinner, and reservations are mandatory. You will be able to make reservations at the end of this tour or any time before 5 this evening. When you are not dining at our a la carte restaurants, you may eat at either of our 2 buffet restaurants, which are open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Additionally, there is a night cafe, which is open until 4 a.m.
Does the resort have a nightclub for dancing?
Yes, of course. We have a discotheque located at the end of the main resort path, further away from the apartments. This is, of course, for noise reasons. In fact, the discotheque is conveniently located next to the night cafe.
And what are the discotheque's hours?
It opens at 8 in the evening and closes at 3 a.m. early the next morning. Last call for drinks is at 2:45.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Next, I'd like to take you down to the beach and show you some of the facilities and services we offer. As we approach the beach, you'll notice the brilliant white sand that our resort is named after. The sand is incredibly fine and is lovely to walk on in your bare feet. Now you can see to your left is one of our beach bar facilities. There is also another beach bar about 100 metres to your right. These bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until 4:30 in the afternoon. On your right is a small cafe serving snack food items during the same opening hours as the beach bar. And straight ahead of us is our beach changing facility, where you can change into your swimming costume, use the toilet, or have a shower.
Are there any water sports included in our holiday package?
Good question. Yes, there are. You have unlimited access to our skimboards, surfboards, and beach sports equipment, such as beach volleyball and football. Additionally, you may sign up for windsurfing at our activity desk, located adjacent to the resort lobby. Finally, you may also register for our weekly water polo tournament, which is held each Friday afternoon at 2:30. Does anyone else have any?
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, students. So again, use that half minute to check your answers. Make sure that you didn't miss an easy mark. Okay, let's go back and go over these together. All right. Okay, students. So let's look at question 11 here. How long will the tour be according to the guide? Will it be quarter of an hour, half an hour? What's the correct answer? A, B, or C? Yeah, that's right. The correct answer is C, about half an hour. Do they say half an hour? Okay, it looks like a lot of people caught it. So it might be the internet on your end. Yeah, she didn't say half an hour. She said 30 minutes. So 30 minutes is half an hour. So therefore, the answer is C. Okay, and pay attention to paraphrasing. Okay, easy concepts like half an hour are almost always paraphrased. So this is another tip for students. Okay, strategy 3 is practice paraphrasing, saying or understanding answers in different ways. Simple answers especially are often paraphrased. Okay, like 30 minutes is paraphrased as half an hour. All right, so pay attention for that one. Okay, let's go to questions 12 to 15. So each one of these, students, is a unique answer. It's questions 12 to 15. You have to be careful with this. This is like a difficult multiple choice question. For this one, it's very important when you see this kind of a question in the exam. It's very important that you read all of these in your preparation time. Okay, so again, for this type of question, make sure to read it in your preparation time. Even a native English speaker or a high-level student, if they don't have this information in their mind, can be difficult because it doesn't come in order, okay? So read this question in your prep time. It's very important. Strategy or skill for this type of question. Okay, so here you had to choose 4 from the possible 8 choices. So 4 are wrong, 4 are right. The order doesn't matter, so you can answer this in any order. What does this resort showcase? What does it have? Does it have a night cafe? Yes, it does. Many of you are saying that. So A is definitely one of the answers. Does it have deadly jellyfish? No, it does not. The jellyfish are poisonous, but not deadly. Okay, that wouldn't be very good for a resort to have deadly jellyfish in the ocean. 24-hour Cuban restaurant. It does have a Cuban restaurant, but it's not 24 hours, right? The woman even says our restaurants are mostly open for dinner, so we know that there's no restaurant. 4 apartment buildings. Yeah, she says there are 4 apartment buildings. What are the names of the apartment buildings? Bonus question. Let's check your active listening. What are the names of the 4 apartment buildings which the resort has? She even says that. Okay, she says they're labeled or they're titled. Lan Thieu, very good. First one. Good for you, Lan. Congratulations. Yeah, A, B, C, and D. She says they're just labeled A, B, C, and D. Building A, Building B, Building C, Building D. Not too exciting, but it's functional. So D is 1. A number of restaurants. Yes, absolutely. The resort has a number of restaurants, so E is the answer. Again, checking your active listening. How many restaurants? She says that. She says the exact number. So how many restaurants does the resort have? If you are going for high band scores like band 7 and 8, you should be able to answer my questions. Okay? I thought she said 7 in total, not 5, but maybe I'm wrong. I do believe the answer was 7 in total. You can check that in your book for those of you who have it. Okay, 7 restaurants in total is what I heard. And C. Anthony agrees with me. All right, so one more to go. A dozen acres of land. I don't think there was information concerning that. G, direct beach access. Okay, that was given. G was given. And H, several buffet restaurants. No, because there's only 2. And 2 is not several. Okay, so there's 2 buffet restaurants. That's a couple of buffet restaurants and not several. That's a little bit tricky. Several is more than 2. Several is 3 or more. But it does have direct beach access. She says direct access to something else. She doesn't say beach. What word does she use instead of beach? Did anybody catch that? What word did she use instead of the word beach that gave us that answer? She paraphrased it, which means she used a synonym. A71, you're very close. Yeah, you got the first part of it. She said coast, what? Not coastal. It was close, though. Not shore. She said coastline. Okay. Coastline is a synonym for beach. The coastline is the beach. It's not a pool, Amardeep. Pool and coastline are very different. Okay. She uses the word beach, but not when she gives this answer. She says you have access to 500 feet of pristine coastline, something like that. Okay. So coastline is the synonym that she used. Okay, good, students. So again, the really important strategy for this kind of question is pay attention to reviewing and reading all of these in your preparation time, okay? If you don't, it's really easy to get lost, even for a native speaker. So you have to have these kind of in your mind while you're listening, all right? Shahruch, it's not coastal. She says coastline, but you're close, okay? You caught the word coast, so that's good. 16. Choose the correct letter, A, B, or C. What time is last call at the discotheque? So what time is last call? Is it at 8 p.m., 2:45, or 3? It's at 2:45, right? Sure. So it's B. Again, let's check your active listening. What is the 8 p.m.? She does use the word 8 p.m. What is that for? So why does she say 8 p.m.? Anybody? Last call is at 2:45, so B is the correct answer. But she says all 3 of these times. So why does she say 8 p.m.? That's right. That's when the dance club opens. Yeah, it's the discotheque or dance club. That's when it opens. It opens at 8 p.m. And what is the 3 a.m.? How about the 3 a.m.? Why does she say that number? So all of you who are saying opens, you're right. Yosef, if you're answering my last question, like Lan and Farhan, then you're correct. So this is the close time. So close, open, and last call. What does last call mean? Can anybody tell me that? I'm sure if there are some party goers in our class today, they'll know what that means if you've traveled around and have visited some discotheques or dance clubs. Last time, to order, drink, or food by Eric Tan. Very good, Eric Tan. Yeah. It's the last chance to order a drink. Usually, it's the last chance to order an alcoholic drink. Okay, it's also used sometimes for food, you're right, but especially alcoholic drinks. So when you're in a European or North American country, oftentimes, and some other countries, of course, as well, oftentimes they'll say last call for drinks. It means you cannot get an alcoholic drink after that time. You might still be able to get some juice or water or a pop, but you cannot get an alcoholic drink after that time. All right, so that's kind of what that means, and it's usually about 15, maybe 30 minutes before the club is closing. The logic is they don't really want people to have a drink right before they exit the club and maybe get into a car or a taxi, okay? All right, so here, some of you said this was maybe not as clear as can be, but you really only needed to see the shapes. So you don't really need to see anything other than the shape. You don't need the words. I can darken the screen for you, but really all you need, again, is the shapes. You don't need the actual words here. Okay? What was the correct answer? Amin, Lan, A71, Call, Sana, Kilola, and everyone else who's saying D, you're correct. Yeah, all we needed to know was something on the left and two objects on the right. Okay, so from the entrance. That's all you needed to know. You did not need to really pay attention to what those were. You just had to pay attention to left, right, right. Okay, don't overcomplicate these questions, all right? So don't overcomplicate these questions. Just keep it simple. You're listening mostly for the directions and you're paying attention to the location of these objects, okay? So D is the correct answer. There's a beach bar on the left, a beach bar on the right, and a cafe on the right. It's the only picture that has two objects on the right and one object on the left. Okay? And that's right, Rahul. The distinctive difference was the second object on the right, the cafe. That's all you needed to know. Okay, this one was a little bit tough because just the layout for me, it was tough to get to these first two questions in time, but hopefully some of you got it. The beach bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until what time? So when does the beach bar finish serving beers and cocktails? Anybody catch that? Yes, you can answer all the answers, Eric, in capital letters. Absolutely. I believe it was 4:30, 4:30. So 4:30 p.m. is the correct answer. You don't need the p.m. because you have in the afternoon. So just 4:30. I believe that was right. Okay, it makes sense for a beach bar to stay open for about 4.5 hours, all right? Okay. In addition to the small cafe on the beach, we also offer a changing something. You might have gotten this, or you might just be able to guess it, even if you missed it, okay? So changing what? 4:30 with the colon, okay? Time uses a colon, not a single dot. Okay, it's 4:30 colon. Okay. Room is not a bad guess, Santa. So changing room, that's North American English. British English is changing facility. Okay, so changing facility. Let me write that again. Changing facility. Okay, so that's British English. Changing facility. Changing room or change rooms would be North American, Canadian, US English. Okay. All right, where you can change in and out of your swimming costume. Swimming costume, again, that's British English. American English, anybody know? Canadian American English, we don't use the word costume. What do we use? Just for fun. So change in and out of your swimming what if you're using American or Canadian English? Yeah, it's suit. That's right. Swimming suit is how you will hear Americans or Canadians like myself say it. So swimming suit. All right. We also offer plenty of sports at the resort, whether it is skimboarding, beach volleyball, football, windsurfing, or our once a week. You should have gotten this. It was given very clearly. Number 20. What is it? Water polo. That's right. Good for you, Eric. 10 and land to you. Water polo. That's right. Water polo tournament. We have activities for everyone. So that was, now when you do this question in the real exam, during the 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet, you should read this short paragraph to make sure it makes sense. The beach bars, read with me. I'm not just reading for you, so read with me, students. The beach bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until 4:30 in the afternoon. In addition to the small cafe on the beach, we also offer changing facilities, or sorry, a changing facility, just checking my plural, singular, where you can change in and out of your swimming costume. We also offer plenty of sports at the resort, whether it is skimboarding, beach volleyball, football, windsurfing, or our once a week water polo tournament. We have activities for everyone. Okay, good. Great job. Let's check the answer key here. Not exactly sure where it is, but here we go. All right, so here are the answer keys for this part 1 and part 2 that we just did. Okay, take a look, mark it, students. So this is for part 1. B.B. Anderson, spelled with the E, 20th of August. Just give me a moment. I'll enlarge the screen for you so you can see this. Okay, so B.B. Anderson, 20th of August. She owes £6.20 in library fines. BA Art History, you could write BA, it's not necessary. And then for 7 it was B, 8 it was A, 9 was C, 10 was B. Okay, 11 was C, 12 to 15 was A, D, E, G, any order. 16 was B, 17 was D, 18, 430. Look at that. Good job, students who got that one. 19, facility. 20 was water polo. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So there are a few strategies there for you to remember. If you're uncertain about questions, be patient. Sometimes you get information later that helps you to reassure that you have the right answers. Amardeep, 17 out of 20 is a fantastic score for section 1 and 2. 19 out of 20, Amin, is very good. You should aim for these high scores for part 1 and part 2 because section 3 and 4 are much more difficult, okay, students? So aim for those high marks. Okay, everyone, that's it for me for today. That listening came from our website at aehelp.com. You can also get it on our general IELTS website at gieltshelp.com. It looks like that. To get 6 original practice exams with these kinds of listening exercises, as well as, of course, reading and speaking and writing, click the red button and join us at gieltshelp.com or aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Lots and lots of help there for you. Samuel, you definitely want to work on improving that mark for part 1 and 2, okay? A71, you can improve reading section in many, many ways. There's a fully interactive course on these websites that explains to you how to improve your reading. If I open up this tab, it's called the Full Online IELTS Course tab. There are over 20 sections focusing just on the reading. So that's it for me for today, students. I will be back tomorrow with a task 2 for this Everyone Chat class at 3 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Much love to all of you, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.